Hey guys, this is part two. If you didn't see part one, there will be a free link in the description box for part one. Again, guys, just know I wouldn't normally break these so frequently, but I'm having to do that right now because there are some very ongoing glitches. I can't do longer live streams, or they never process, or they don't process for sometimes more than 24 hours. And so it's been a nightmare because I got to take videos down and then re-release them, and it's just kind of messy. So instead, my workaround for right now is to do shorter live streams. So forgive me that we do these in two parts, or like yesterday, I think we did a 3-part. But so we left it where I was like, I can't leave it here because what do we do with the sideways Queen of Wands? Hi, everybody. So nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys, I can't tell you how lovely it is to hang out with you tonight. You guys are so wonderful. I feel like this is our high priestess saying, I'm curious. I want to hear from them after the initial shock of getting some kind of a message from somebody and then saying, okay, I want to hear from them. Yes. I'm not going to get hopes up or hopes down. I am not going to imagine that they're so madly in love with me and think I'm the hottest thing ever. I am not going to either think that they're just reaching out to cause me grief, because her first worry was that's what it would be about, but she already worked through that process. I think it's never good to brace ourselves and imagine something's going to be awful, but I gotta say I kind of completely understand, because I'm actually like this. Um, Anything that I have to prepare myself for, I usually always say, okay, let's get our jitters out. What's the worst possible scenario? Let me consider it. Now, anything less than that, and I'm going to be like, slam dunk, that was great. That wasn't even half as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I understand why she operated the way she did in part one. This high priestess, like mentally preparing herself for worst case scenario, not to then be like, oh my God, I'm so scared, I'm so upset. But she does it so she can throw away the worries of worst case scenario, because she already thought about it, dealt with it, and is like, it might suck, but it's not going to rattle me that bad. I'll be fine. Even if it's a big old fat heartbreak, I can still handle myself with grace because I already thought it out. So she's in a place of like, okay, I can kind of, whatever this person, this King of Swords is going to say to me, I can handle hearing it now. Now, at this point, my thought is she does not know what he has to say to her because she's too busy still bracing herself. So it's the initial shock of hearing from him, followed by, okay, now I'm going to hear what he has to say. But she had to first have that moment to prepare herself for whatever comes next. So how are you responding to him then? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse and the Tower in the reverse. Something about like, not sure what the best timing is. Like, when were you thinking? This is her having like zero like ego in it, but just saying, I'm surprised to hear from you. I hadn't planned on this. So, I have these other things that are scheduled, but I want to talk to you. I mean, I think she's going to be very upfront, but I don't think she's going to stop everything and rearrange her day around this. Yeah. 5 of Pentacles is, and she's not saying I'm dying to see you either. It's more like, this is a surprise. I had other things going on today or whenever, but do you really need to talk to me? Because I will make time sooner. It's almost like she's giving a concession. Like, if you need something from me, I will be there sooner. We can talk sooner, but I wasn't expecting to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say. Maybe this isn't the best time, but I can make time if you really need me to. Like, that's how it comes across. So it's immediately like this huge concession, while still being, obviously she's very curious about what he has to say, but handling it still with like sincerity and grace is how it comes across. Fallen Raven, that's awesome. He's sipping on some coffee. We have a 10 of Cups sideways. You know what? I think that is the most beautiful response, because it's exactly, obviously the King of Swords is reaching out to her with something equally as sincere to say, and he's the one who opened this dialogue. She is responding with something equally as sincere. Yes, I want to talk to you. Neither one is like, oh my God, I need you so bad. That's not where they're at, but they're obviously both like, I think, going to be kind of delighted because they both know, all right, so we're two people that are respectfully, connecting. And obviously there's a concern that we have for each other. If you want to talk sooner, or this is super important, I'll make time. I'm happy to hear from you. I just didn't expect to. So this is what my day was going to look like. Did you need us to meet sooner or talk sooner? I just feel like this sets the tone for two people that are already saying, I'm not going to be nasty to you. I'm not coming in to do war with you. I don't know what we're about to talk about, but it feels better to approach each other like respectful humans. Now, obviously, we know this is actually about love. She's the one who didn't know what's coming at her. But I like the fact that this is so kind. And I think it sets the tone really nicely. Two of Wands. It may come back into her hands with, him saying, pick what day and what time. And, no, it's not, it has to fit into your world. So pick what day and what time. I think for her, it's like, okay, then after work, because she has something she has to do for work with that boss babe written there on the clipboard. But she is still saying, but I'm going to move a few other things around. There's a work thing I have to do. And then I don't want the whole day to go by before I talk to you. So she's like going to do whatever she has to do. And then it seems like the end of the day, like by nightfall, it's at the end of the day, the world. So like, it's still within 24 hours is what I would say. How are these two meeting, talking, interacting? Queen of Wands, outside of a place. This could be, I don't know that she wants to let this person come like into her home necessarily. I would say this is her blocking off her home on purpose, meeting him someplace more public, just because she's protecting her home still. I mean, she's a high priestess who half expected the worst possible scenario if she ever heard from him. That's what she was braced for. And you got to ask, why would you be braced for something so painful from somebody that you don't want to hurt them, but why would you assume that they were going to reach out and say something painful to you? That bothers me about this, because it says she either has a lot of wounds and she's been used to being hurt, or he particularly has caused her some grief and she's just rattled at the thought of more of it. I don't love that. But again, maybe this is just her way, or maybe she's just, been through enough things in life that she knows protect yourself by getting in front of things first. I'm not really sure. I don't think she'd be meeting up with somebody if they were a monster, though. And obviously, he's only come across as fantastic as a King of Swords, with his whole heart to offer. So we have a Two of Swords. She is still going in guarded, though. She's going to meet him, not at her home. She's still going to keep some kind of a boundary up. She's going to let them do the talking. What do you need to say to me? Oh, that's why. She's not going to be putting herself out there or even stoking their ego or anything. She's here for like a grown-up conversation. She's a Queen of Wands. She's a high priestess. If anything, if she has any concern that they might be just randomly like, oh, hey, I was in town and looked through my little black book and found your number, thought I'd call you up to see if you're down for, some entertainment or to entertain me. She's not ruling that out. That's why I think she's guarded. She's letting him, show what is he here for. Why do you think so negatively about the possibilities here? She's like, look, it's not that. I'm a freaking empress. I have my empire to think about. If you run an empire and your duty is to take care of the empire contains everyone you're responsible for, how you're going to feed and clothe your empire, how you're going to, not let the enemy in, or it also contains your heart, your mind, your spirit. So you have to be responsible. She could have a business to run. She's like, I can't afford a heartbreak that could throw me off kilter. And then I struggling to, keep up. Maybe I'm really busy right now in a business. I can't take a mental health day. So I need to stay healthy. And that means don't just let anybody in your gates. Literally, don't let anybody in your gates. Not until they've earned their way in, not till you know what they're there for. I just think this is not her being overly cautious. This is her operating as an empress. She's not actually fearful. Maybe that's why she's a good strategist and a good empress, because she says, worst case scenario, consider it, consider everything that could happen, and then always know how much you could afford to lose. Always know how much you could afford to invest. Always know what you can risk and what you cannot, and never risk more than what you could afford to lose. And that goes for your heart as much as it goes for your money. I mean, I think that's the way she operates. Still very generous, very gracious, but did you earn your right into my house? No. Do I know if you're here for playing with me or something serious? I don't know the answer to that yet. So no, you're not coming into my world. I'll meet you in a neutral place outside of my world where you cannot do any damage, if that were what this plan was. I don't see her as scared. I see her as, I have built something and I won't let anybody wreck it. So that means I protect what's mine, not out of fear, but out of like responsibility to keep my life going well and myself going well. Okay, so let me just ask, King of Swords, this is it. Y'all are chit-chatting, y'all are talking. She's ready to sit down. We have a Queen of Swords, a Page of Pentacles. She will sit and she will let you start the pleasantries. 8 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands. Obviously, she's going to wonder, what are you getting at? What's the point here? What are we here for? I feel like he can practically see the wheels in her mind turning as she listens. She's working on stuff. She's chewing on his words. She's addressing and assembling and deciphering information to find probably what's true, what doesn't ring true. Look, I'm not saying she's sitting there like, okay, I'm expecting you to lie to me and I'm going to listen to every word for lies. She just can't help but be astute. She's showing up in his mind as a Queen of Swords, which is a perfect match for him as a King of Swords. But he knows she's going to be listening to every word and the words not spoken. She's going to be aware of if he's making light of something and the fact that that's the tip of the iceberg. She's looking to piece things together, though, calmly to get the full picture before making any decisions on anything that he has to say. Basically, she's not saying, liar, liar, pants on fire. She's taking it all in and turning things over in her mind, maybe putting herself in his shoes as he talks, as they talk. I think she's doing more listening than communicating, though. Definitely more listening than communicating, because Four of Swords is literally, we stop and we listen. We listen for the message of the universe. We listen for whatever or whomever is talking to us. And we have the Judgment card and we have the Hermit. It's interesting because I think even if he tries to, start out a little bit more lighthearted, I almost think that it's going to be very obvious very soon that, okay, so this is his attempt to reconcile with me. And I think at that moment is where he may go silent. And he's probably going silent because, that's a big thing to have right there between the two of them. So I don't think he beats around the bush too long. I think he's obviously setting the stage, but then I think this is really meaningful. This is a very important conversation. He's thinking long and hard with the Seven of Swords, long and hard about do I lay out all the plans, everything that I hope for, everything that I wish for? Do I come clean about the fact that I've been thinking about this for a really, really, really long time? Temperance in the Tower. Yep. If you're going to do it all at once. Put everything out there, all your cards on the table. Here it is. It says, we already saw he was ready to give his heart. Here he is ready to actually basically aim for everything that he wants. I want to be walking hand in hand with you, especially if the world's going to, go up in flames. You're the one that I would rather be standing beside. I'd rather have you beside me. I'd rather have us in a place of peace. It's not even like he's saying, oh, I'm so sorry for this, I'm so sorry for that. It's not any of that. What this message is you're the person that I actually want to be with. I don't know what transpired before, and I don't even want to ask because I actually don't think it's relevant. She would never have agreed to see him if he had been some monster in the past. I would say it's just at this point, this is the most real thing ever. I love this Tower card. It's so different than any other. Normally we have the Tower striking and people are falling out on opposite sides of the Tower. This is when the world falls apart, let's fall together kind of thing, This is, I don't care. We can't control what happens in life, but we can control where we choose to take our lives, and not take our lives. I don't mean it that way. Which direction we choose to take our lives in, and who we choose to go with. And it's like, I want to go through life with you. There's ups and downs, there's problems, there's all kinds of things. But I want to go that direction and face the ups and the downs with you. I think that's plenty to say. I mean, he's a King of Swords. He's not going to be that verbose. He's going to get to it, especially the version of him that he is right now. Is that going to be adequate? It's not going to be adequate. We literally have the Four of Wands and we have the Fool card sideways. Yeah, I mean, he's waiting for her response. She's the co-creator of this. So two people have to be on the same page as equal partners. So now he's waiting for her. Do you want me to leap toward you? Are you inviting me in now that I've asked you, can I step into your world? Would you want me in your world? Would you want to hold my hand through this? And it's like, now it's her move. He's laid all of his cards on the table. All right, feminine, what are the cards that you're laying down? Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So good to see you, Lana, Rahita Beauty, Raman, Six of Swords. She is more than willing. I think that this conversation is so soothing, and it's so, when somebody just lays out their cards, no games, no nothing, there's a huge sense of relief. And it's like, okay, now I know what I'm working with. You're as crystal clear as like some mountain lake. I can see right down to the bottom of your heart. You just told me everything that there was, and I don't see any guile. So I feel peaceful. I feel calm. I feel like, honestly, if there were ever a better time for two people to start over, I don't think that there was a better time. I think this is two people grown up enough. Look at this. Beautiful. I got the Strength card. This is like, I don't know if she's literally going to reach out and, touch his face or what, but there is definitely, I love this bear. It's bear in his eyes. Aries looks at me like that. Like, it's so sincere. Whatever that look is, I feel like these two have a true meeting of the minds. This is a perfect coming together for a Two of Cups. Maybe the best Two of Cups story we've ever had, for the maturity, for the no game playing. This is perfect. This is, I'm glad we got to watch these two play it out, but it was great. 11:8, you sweetheart. Thank you for everything, babe. Thank you so much. Lucia, you sweetie. Thanks for being here, love. Brave Pink Hero Green. Roman, Empress Unicorn 111. Alana, thank you, everybody. Hey, Travis. Luminous Marina. Holly. Nelly. Hi, babe. You guys are so awesome. Thanks for being here. Hi, GR. Fallen Raven, what's up with Rue? Moonbeam Wendy, Chrissy, Jeannie Vale, Tina's just passing time. Hey, babe. All right, you guys, take care. Denisa, thank you, everybody. All right, I have to bounce out or this is going to get crazy again. All right, you guys, take care. Bye for the moment.